Hey guys!
Alright guys, we're here today to check out the latest video from Infinitum, See You in Hell, and there's a few things I want to say before we get started. So, first is, the only song you've heard from this album is the video that we did, March on, what was it? Versailles? How you pronounce it?
Versailles.
Okay, thank you. So, March on that place. So, anyways, so that's the only song you know from the album.
Yeah.
Right? Well, that's the only video, the only single that's been released up until the release of this one, so there's 2 singles now. I already had the album before. I mentioned that when we did that video that I had the album, but I was waiting to check out the video with you before I got into the album. And then I said to you after that video, that song was so good that I'm going to have to listen to the album, even though the album is not coming out until April 3rd, I believe.
Yeah.
Well, I did check out the album because that song was magnificent. There's no way I'm going to sit on that record and not listen to it. So I did listen to it. I pre-recorded a review, which I'm going to post on the channel maybe a week before the actual release of the album. And I gotta say this, it's my favorite song.
Oh.
And if it's top 2. Okay, maybe not my favorite song, but it's definitely top 2. It's up there as one of my favorite songs on the album. And one of the reasons I love this song so much is not even just the melody and the singing, it's the lyrics. And I want you to pay attention.
You know what? I think you've told me about this song though, because you were cleaning around the house and you were singing this song.
Yeah,
and you were like,
I think I even give you
gave me the headphones
for you to listen to a little bit of the chorus. So
because you wanted me to listen to the lyrics.
The lyrics. So I want you to pay attention to the lyrics of the song as the song plays out. Pay attention to the lyrics. One of my favorite, top 2, but perhaps even my favorite song on the album. I absolutely love this track. And what can I say? I can say this ahead of time. I want you guys to check out the review, but I gotta say this. This album is... There's not enough words in the English vocabulary, at least the vocabulary that I'm familiar with, because my vocabulary is kind of limited, to describe how good this record is. They really did an incredible job with this album. Within this genre, and I say this on my review, and I'm kind of like spoiling my own review, this is going to be, within the genre, one of the best albums you're going to hear this year. It's really well put together. On all facets. It doesn't matter if you look at mixing, production, vocals, guitars. It doesn't matter what component you look at. It's like freaking perfect on all areas. Absolutely glorious. And this is my favorite song. So we definitely have to check out the video because I want to see what the video is all about. Pay attention to the lyrics.
Okay.
All right.
When the night comes back, all my fears and doubts, get my hand to choose the way to end this masquerade. You are my only star, my light in the dark. One drop in your wine and all this pain will fade away. Now I run in tears. Someone is dead. Goodbye, my love. May we meet again. Heaven is closed. See you in Goodbye, my love. For you rings the bell. I've no remorse. See you in give my trust and heart to a troubled man. Never satisfied, my love, you threw it away now. Your soul in the clouds. I look at the sky. Can you see me smile? I don't regret in any way. This last glass of wine. Then your heart was mine. So will it be for eternity?
I don't think there's anything else. No. All right. What do you think? First of all, let's talk about the lyrics. What did you think about the chorus?
Oh, you told me the chorus line. Heaven is near.
Heaven is closed.
Heaven is closed.
See you in hell.
See you in hell. Yeah.
Goodbye, my love.
Heaven is closed.
May we meet again. Heaven is closed. See you in hell. That line gives me chills every time I hear this song. Every time I hear that chorus, when I first heard this song for the first time, I had chills with that line. Like those lyrics are so epic. And there's a caveat that I want to throw out, but I want to leave it for later because I want to hear what you have to say about the track. And then I'm going to throw a little thing.
This band in general, but I feel this track specifically really does remind me of Seven Spires.
There's a little bit of,
especially the chorus.
They have similar styles.
But especially the chorus, the way the vocals come along and the heaviness, it really does remind me of Seven Spires, and I love Seven Spires.
I know, but the Adrian's vocals are much different than Melissa.
Yeah.
They have different ranges. They have different tones. The music, the approach is similar because the two bands have similar style in terms of everything, in terms of how they present themselves, but also how they put together the record. There's a lot of similarities from that perspective with the Seven Spires new album, Emerald Seas, and this album. There's a lot of similarities.
I'm talking more about the last album from Seven Spires.
But the new one as far as the concept is a prequel to the last one, to the first one. But what I'm saying is the two bands have they sit in a similar genre. So there's some comparisons there. But to me, that's about it. Because when I listen to one and I when I listen to the other, the things that they have in common is the genre, the style, the approach into how they create music, because and the emphasis that they put on the lyrics of their music. So those things are common. But Melissa in this album is very different from Adrian's vocals are completely different. She has a different range to her voice. She comes from a different place. Let's put it that way. Yeah. To me, Melissa. And not a knock on Adrian. I love her, and I'm a big fan of Seven Spires. But if I'm looking at a vocalist, Melissa is in my opinion, she's at a different level. Just because she can do a lot more. And in this album, I felt I don't want to give too much away from the album because I want people to check out the review. This album is like lasagna. There's like layer upon layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. So there's so much to unpack from the record. And to me, this record, if there's one thing that's going to prove for the people that may have doubts or people who are not familiar with Melissa's work with Rage of Light and everything that she's done with other projects, Serenity and Workings. Is Workings?
I think so.
Now I'm drawing a blank here. Anyways, all the projects that she's been with, I feel that in this album, she's able to really showcase everything that she can do. There's really no limits on what she does, and she takes her voice in different aspects. Even within the tracks, she goes a little bit lower, she goes a little bit higher. There's so much that she does. She really brings the lyrics to life in how she sings those lyrics. Yeah. She's able to bring emotion and life into the lyrics. But once again, what did you think of this?
I mean, the lyrics were... I knew that line because you told me. And I listened to it a little bit when you put the headphones on. And I liked it, but at that time I didn't get to listen to the whole thing. It's not good to listen to, like, a part of a track. You want to listen to the whole thing to really get your...
Yeah, it's hard to listen just to the chorus and get a feel for what...
I didn't even listen to the chorus. You just put it was after the chorus.
Yeah. So I think you need to hear the whole song, but you heard the whole song.
The whole song is absolutely amazing. The vocals... I love her vocals, and especially because the vocals go with such a heavy guitar riff in the chorus. They just
and
match,
the drums too.
And the drums, they just match each other so well, and I love that.
To me, this is an album, and this song specifically, I really like this track. This, like I said, one of my top two, maybe perhaps my favorite song on the album. I really love the album because to me the album, and once again, I really don't want to spoil too much for the album review, but to me, I want to say three things. One is, her voice on this album is absolutely magnificent. Like I said before, I really feel that she's free of any restraints or any boundaries.
Able to do her thing.
Yeah, she can just do her thing. There's no expectations going in on what she could do or could not do with any given song. So when you have that kind of a freedom to just really just be who you are and just sing. There's so much you can do, and there's so much that she can do with her talent. A few things about the vocals that I really like. I like the fact that they didn't use too many harsh vocals throughout the album, because to me her voice is incredible. You don't really need it. You know what I mean? They used it.
Listen to this song. You really
This
don't
song, this song doesn't need it at all. But they used it, very sporadic. I think maybe 2-3 tracks. That's it on a 15-track album. That's not a lot, right? The other thing that I liked about it is they kept it simple. They didn't do too many layers. This song has some layers to her vocal tracks. They have backing vocals, like 2 layers of vocals on top of each other, in some portions to give a little bit more volume, more presence. Instead of you going with harsh vocals, you do that. You give the song a little bit more substance. They didn't do that a lot throughout the album, because to me, you don't need to. Her vocals are so good. She can go in so many different directions that just.
And her vocals are so.
She's like a wild stallion. Just let it go.
Yeah, the vocals are very thick, so you can. It has like a wider range.
Yeah, and
you don't need much layering over it.
No, you don't. In this song, I think it worked well because the song is very light. In the chorus gets a little bit heavier, but in the verses is very light. So it worked out okay. But one of the things I liked about the album is they didn't do too much to her voice. They just let her voice be her voice and let that go wherever it needed to go. They didn't tweak with it too much, in my opinion. The other thing I wanted to add to this video is that they on the album have this song in acoustic.
Oh.
If you thought this was good, the acoustic is 1,000 times better. The acoustic is unbelievable. Like at the end of the album has the I think it's a special edition one, has 15 tracks. The special edition one. There's a couple instrumental tracks. So there's the instrumental track to March to Versailles. Oh, fuck if I can say that name. Anyways,
you're putting a Portuguese accent.
I know. There's an instrumental track.
Versailles.
Okay, Versailles. There's an instrumental track. So there's a couple of instrumental tracks, and there's an acoustic version of this song. The acoustic version of this song.
It's a mic dropper.
It is. Imagine this song, just an acoustic guitar and her voice. It's just you're like. Like I was in awe. It's so good. The acoustic version of this song is if people out there are thinking of buying the record and they're not sure, do I buy like the regular or the special? I think there's going to be 2 versions out there, the 15 track and then a shorter one without those tracks at the end. I think. I'm not 100% sure. I could be opening mouth, inserting foot. Yeah. But on iTunes you can purchase the extended, the 15 track one. Do it. If not for anything, for this song in acoustic, just for that alone, it's worth it. Do it. It's glorious track. Glorious. It's just, I don't have any more words to say. It's just glorious. Absolutely amazing. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
All right. I'm glad we check out the video because I love this song. I really wanted to see what the video looked like, and I wanted you to listen to this song in case you get sidetracked and you kind of miss it when the album comes out. All right. On that note, we're done for today.
Yeah.
Right? Come back tomorrow. All right, we'll be here tomorrow. See you guys.
See ya.